A nation mourns the end of Camelot. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, embodied hope and optimism for a generation. His charisma and vision captivated the nation. He challenged Americans to reach for the stars, to embrace progress, and to strive for a better tomorrow. But on a sunny afternoon in Dallas, Texas, this era of promise was tragically cut short. The world watched in disbelief as news of Kennedy's assassination spread. A nation mourned the loss of its young leader. The dream of Camelot, as Kennedy's presidency was known, had come to a sudden and devastating end. The assassination of John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, remains one of the most shocking and consequential events in American history. It was a day that shattered the nation's innocence and left an indelible mark on the American psyche. The events of that day continue to fascinate and haunt us, prompting endless speculation and debate about what really happened and why. The Seeds of Conspiracy Dallas, 1963. The story of the assassination begins in Dallas, a city simmering with political and social tensions. Kennedy's visit to Texas in November 1963 was intended to mend fences with the conservative wing of the Democratic Party, but it also exposed him to potential danger. The political climate in Dallas was particularly volatile. Right-wing groups fueled by anti-communist sentiment and opposition to Kennedy's policies viewed the president with suspicion and hostility. In the days leading up to Kennedy's arrival, the atmosphere in Dallas was thick with apprehension. Despite the concerns, Kennedy decided to proceed with the trip, believing that it was important to engage with all Americans, even those who disagreed with him. The seeds of conspiracy had been sown, and the events that unfolded on that fateful day in Dallas would forever alter the course of American history. The lone gunman theory, Lee Harvey Oswald and the Texas School Book Depository. Central to the official narrative of the assassination is Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with a troubled past and alleged communist sympathies. Oswald had defected to the Soviet Union in 1959, but later returned to the United States with his Russian wife. In the months leading up to the assassination, Oswald had moved to Dallas and found work at the Texas School Book Depository, a building that would soon become infamous. According to the Warren Commission, the government body tasked with investigating the assassination, Oswald acted alone in killing Kennedy. The commission concluded that Oswald fired 3 shots from a 6th-floor window of the Texas School Book Depository as Kennedy's motorcade passed below. The evidence against Oswald, while circumstantial, was compelling. The rifle used to kill Kennedy was traced back to him. His fingerprints were found on the weapon and ammunition. Witnesses placed him in the 6th-floor window of the Texas School Book Depository at the time of the shooting. However, Oswald's motives remain murky. He denied any involvement in the assassination, famously declaring, "I'm just a patsy." 3 shots ring out, the assassination of President Kennedy. On November 22, 1963, at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, President Kennedy's motorcade left Love Field, embarking on a 10-mile route through the streets of Dallas. The President and First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy were riding in an open-top limousine, waving to the crowds that lined the streets. The atmosphere was festive, with many people eager to catch a glimpse of their young and charismatic president. As the motorcade approached Dealey Plaza, the mood shifted. A series of loud cracks rang out, echoing through the plaza. At first, many in the crowd thought the sounds were firecrackers, but it soon became horrifyingly clear that they were gunshots. Chaos erupted as people screamed and ran for cover. The presidential limousine, now speeding towards Parkland Memorial Hospital, carried a mortally wounded President Kennedy and a blood-soaked First Lady. The world watched in shock and disbelief as television networks interrupted their regular programming to announce that President Kennedy had been shot. The news spread like wildfire, leaving a nation in mourning and the world on edge. Section 5. A city in shock. Jack Ruby silences the accused. In the chaotic aftermath, law enforcement officials scrambled to apprehend the suspect. Lee Harvey Oswald was arrested within hours of the shooting. On November 24th, as Oswald was being transferred, he was fatally shot by Jack Ruby. The shooting, broadcast live, sent shockwaves through the nation. Ruby's motives remain a subject of debate. He was convicted of murder and died in prison in 1967. Section 6. The Warren Commission, seeking answers in the aftermath. In an effort to address the swirling rumors and suspicions surrounding the assassination, President Lyndon B. Johnson appointed a commission headed by Chief Justice Earl Warren to conduct a thorough investigation. The Warren Commission, as it came to be known, was tasked with examining all aspects of the assassination, from Oswald's background and potential motives to the security measures in place that day. After 10 months of investigation, the Warren Commission released its report in September 1964. The report concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in assassinating President Kennedy and that there was no evidence of a conspiracy, either domestic or foreign. The Commission's findings, however, did little to quell the controversy surrounding the assassination. Critics questioned the thoroughness of the investigation, pointing to inconsistencies in witness testimony, the lack of a clear motive for Oswald, and the Commission's dismissal of alternative theories. Section 7. Beyond the single bullet, unraveling the conspiracy theories. The assassination of John F. Kennedy has spawned countless conspiracy theories, each attempting to offer an alternative explanation for the events of that day. These theories, fueled by unanswered questions and inconsistencies in the official narrative, have captured the public imagination for decades. One of the most enduring is the grassy knoll theory, positing a second gunman on a grassy knoll fired the fatal shot. This theory questions the bullet's trajectory from Oswald's location. Other theories implicate the CIA, Mafia, Fidel Castro, and even Lyndon B. Johnson. Despite a lack of credible evidence, these theories persist, reflecting the profound impact of the assassination on the American psyche. Section 8. A nation divided. The enduring impact of the assassination. The assassination of John F. Kennedy sent shockwaves through American society, leaving a nation reeling from the loss of its leader and grappling with the implications of the tragedy. The event had a profound impact on the national psyche, shaking the public's faith in government and fueling a sense of paranoia and distrust that would linger for decades. The assassination also exposed deep divisions within American society, particularly regarding race, politics, and the role of government. The event occurred at a time of significant social and political upheaval, with the civil rights movement gaining momentum and the Cold War reaching new heights of tension. Kennedy's assassination exacerbated these divisions, creating a climate of fear and uncertainty. The assassination of John F. Kennedy was a watershed moment in American history, marking the end of an era of innocence and optimism. Section 9. The Legacy of JFK, a life cut short, a dream unfulfilled. Despite his truncated presidency, John F. Kennedy left an indelible mark on the United States and the world. His charisma, idealism, and vision inspired a generation to believe in the power of hope and the possibility of progress. Kennedy's legacy is defined by his commitment to civil rights, his bold challenge to land a man on the moon, and his eloquence in articulating a vision of America's role in the world. Kennedy's assassination robbed the nation of a leader who embodied its highest aspirations. His death left a void in American politics and a sense of unfulfilled promise. Yet even in death, Kennedy's legacy continues to inspire. Section 10. The Unanswered Questions. A cloud of mystery remains. More than half a century after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the event continues to fascinate and perplex. The release of thousands of previously classified documents related to the assassination has shed some light on the events surrounding that day, but many questions remain unanswered. The debate over whether Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone or as part of a larger conspiracy continues to rage. The lack of a definitive answer, coupled with the government's perceived secrecy and mishandling of evidence, has fueled public distrust and suspicion. The assassination of John F. Kennedy remains one of the most significant unsolved mysteries of the 20th century, a tragic event that continues to cast a long shadow over American history. The events of that day in Dallas serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the importance of seeking truth, justice, and accountability. The assassination of John F. Kennedy was a national tragedy that continues to resonate today.